There's a certain kind of face that just makes you trust what's inside the bag. A kind face framed by a white beard, topped with a newsy cap, and finished off with a bolo tie and a red vest. It's the face of Bob Moore, the man smiling back at you from every sack of oats, every bag of flour, every mix of pancake and muffin batter, with his signature blessing, "To your good health." The first whole grain loaf of bread that came out of my wife Charlie's oven back in the 60s, he once said, was the most delicious loaf of bread I can ever remember smelling and eating. And that loaf changed everything. Together, Bob and Charlee built something revolutionary, a company that stood for slow, simple, and stone-ground values in an increasingly fast and processed world. Their red mill became a beacon of wholesome Americana, proof that integrity, quality, and hard work could still rise, just like a good loaf of bread. From stone-ground sorghum flour to paleo muesli, from whole wheat couscous to gluten-free cake mixes, their brand grew from a humble Oregon mill into a $100 million a year business, with hundreds of products sold in over 70 countries. But at its heart, it always came back to the same homegrown values and the belief that real food made the right way has the power to make us well. And that's why this week's On Brand is on Bob's Red Mill.
You're all jazzed up, nearly having a cow. You want your favorite show, and it's on right now. It's on brand.
Welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa. I'm Jon.
I'm Marisa.
Okay. What?
This is a big brand for the baking community.
Okay.
You've never heard of Bob's Red Mill?
I feel like I'm
going to grab a bag and you tell me if you recognize it.
I honestly was about to say, I feel like I can kind of picture the bag. I've probably seen it. I'm not a baker, so I wouldn't have allowed it into my brain. Yeah. It's got that old tiny.
Seen this guy?
It's got that old font.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called?
Bob's Red Mill.
Bob's Red Mill. Perfect. I'm just thinking of the Insta egg. I can do maybe a picture of Bob Barker minus a dog barking with a thing and a slash. So Bob, they're like Bob's Big Boy? No! Sorry, I gotta stop getting mad at people about the Insta egg.
I know, because then you get really defensive when people say they're scared of upsetting you, but they should be scared.
I know. And then I get mad
when you fly
when
off the handle at a moment's notice.
I get mad when people say they're too easy.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we're doing a flour.
Well, it's not just
great.
A flour. It started out as a mill with whole grain flour.
Save it.
Sure, I'll say what you'll know is that they have a huge dedicated shelf space in a lot of grocery stores, not just your Whole Foods, your health food stores. They make everything. Granola, cake mixes, muffin mixes, as I said.
You're thinking of Nature Valley.
I promise that they make granola.
Are you thinking of, now you said the man with the beard. I was thinking Quaker Oats. Are you thinking of Quaker Oats?
I promise you I'm not. This is, now that it's on your radar, perhaps, you know what it is? You claim to hate oatmeal so much that as soon as you see a sack of oats, you'd pronounce the other way.
Okay, first
looking
of
for
all,
the little Debbie Christmas trees.
First of all, I've been eating overnight oats for years before you guys ever brought it up. I've never said the words, I hate oatmeal. I've eaten cream of wheat since I was a child, and oatmeal cookies are one of my favorite cookies.
Great, you could be the first guest on Oat Brand.
But no, I just want to nix this narrative. I don't even understand it, that why you think I hate oats.
I think you get really mad when Alistair talks about oatmeal.
No, I get what I would get frustrated with Alistair is we would be sitting here doing the show and he would have a baby pool size bowl of oatmeal next to us filled to the brim. Like you would have to carry it like this.
Yeah, that is true.
And he's just like,
and he would do the thing that like a diner would do if there was leftover milkshake. They would put it in like the silver cup. Sometimes he had an accessory bowl of oatmeal, like if he accidentally made too much. So he would have a baby pool size filled to the brim, and then he would also have like an igloo cooler on the side that filled halfway with oatmeal.
It was a lot. Well, I'm trying to improvise. And
Sure.
Bring the funny.
Bring the funny, baby.
Gotta bring the funny.
That's what we do here.
But
this is a really iconic brand, and this happens to be Al Pal's favorite brand of oatmeal, which is the extra thick rolled oats.
Of course it is.
But I have a ton of their products. I have their polenta. I obviously have their flour. We recently have become, not the household, but we recently have a gluten-free member of the household. David, as you know, Jon knows, I'll announce it publicly now in this forum.
Or did you want me? I could act surprised.
Okay, do you mind?
No. Wait, no one's gluten-free in this house. I know.
I'm here to tell you, my husband, David, is officially gluten-free.
What? What?
That
Now,
was really
gluten-free.
good.
So explain gluten to me. That comes from wheat, right?
Sure, gluten comes from wheat, yeah. And
Wait, is that true?
yeah, it's like part of the wheat. So, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of grains that have like farro has gluten in it. But then there's a
Oh.
lot of grains that like quinoa doesn't have gluten in it. That you can oatmeal doesn't normally have gluten in it, but this is like a dedicated gluten-free facility. So if we have any gluten-free listeners, Bob's Red Mill was, and we'll get into it, very early into the game with gluten-free products. Like before anybody even was really talking about that. Putting it on the map and making it very accessible. So they have gluten-free flour, they have gluten-free cake mixes, which I've heard are very good. I haven't had any of those yet. And they make gluten-free products accessible in just like your regular grocery store. But it's funny, like, do you know King Arthur flour? Do you know any of these like flour brands? Okay.
No, I know like Gold Medal.
Yeah, Gold Medal. Okay.
I know Gold Medal.
Yeah.
And like store brand.
Store brand, sure.
Safeway.
I've been to the King Arthur flour like museum and like when I went at Leaf Peepin' to Vermont. Yeah, I put pictures of that in the Discord.
In Vermont.
Yeah, the King Arthur flour place. But this is like I'd say the other big brand of flour for people who like to do whole grain baking, but or just anybody who's a fan of like natural foods, I would say.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, so you're outing yourself as maybe not the target demographic for this.
Well, no, I mean I don't bake. Rarely will I bake.
Well, if you want your oat, you should try this oatmeal, the extra thick rolled oats.
Extra thick, I'm fine with just normal. Okay. But sure, make me some as intended.
Yeah,
I'll eat a bowl next time. I want a piping hot bowl of oats steaming at my teat.
Okay, at your teat. I can do that.
Now,
I'm sorry, what?
I was gonna ask you if you put things on your oatmeal, but then I'm like, now we're just talking. But this is a show about.
Sure, it's a show about oatmeal. Sure.
But before we get into that, so Hazinga Town is happening.
What's happened?
So I know it's been talked about a little bit on the Discord. Now everybody knows I now have issues with Target. In the beginning of the year, I did a Target episode praising them. A couple weeks later, I kind of fell out of favor with them, and I haven't shopped there since.
Think of the money you've saved.
Since the money that I've saved, the money that they've lost. I mean, that is a Hazinga because I am, as anyone knows, I am loyal. I will continue to buy from a place. And Target is one of those places that was like designed to get you in. You just mill about. You pick up things that you had no idea were even on your radar to get.
For sure.
And I was that person.
And that money has been diverted to other things.
Sure.
Wicked Munchkins.
Oh, yes. You're dying to talk about the fact that I bought.
Well, because you have it on record that you do. This is like, I swear someone could pull the clip. You saying, I'm so not into Wicked. I'm so glad I'm not into, because we've talked about the Wicked collabs when the last movie came out. You saying, I'm so not into the collabs and I'm so glad I'm not.
I mean, I would honestly have to see that clip because I don't, it's more that I don't really care that much about Wicked. It's not like something I'm actively collecting, but I did buy like the signed Wicked CD.
Yeah, but I think that's more like the artist, the Ariana Grande,
thing, yeah.
But as far as like the Glinda of it all, the Elphaba of it all, did you know their names?
I always know Glinda, and I get confused. I get confused not only with Alphaba, but Cynthia Erivo. It's like so many words that I feel like I'm not going to say right. So I have a little story about her that I may have told on Off Brand last week. I don't know because we haven't recorded it yet. But here's what I'll say about Wicked. Genius. Because it's a branding titan.
Sure.
It is one of those things. There are more collabs, I'm assuming, more collabs for Wicked than 99% of the films that have ever come out.
I would agree with that.
Clothing.
I'd say it's more of a collab than it is a movie.
Absolutely. I honestly don't know what the movie's about.
Well, and you're the example of it because you haven't seen the movie.
I tried.
And you participated in the collab.
No, I bought one thing.
And the vinyl.
Well, and the vinyl.
So you participated in the collab without having seen the film. So I think this is more a vehicle for collabs than it is a movie.
Yeah, but what I was going to say about it being genius is for everything that they make, they make two. They make a pink one and they make a green one.
Sure, you the good witch or the bad witch? Which are you?
Is that what it is?
Well, it's Glinda and Elphaba.
Wait, that's the same Glinda from Wizard of Oz? Kidding, of course. I know that. She ages great. She's young. Like, does it butt up right too? I will watch it, so don't tell me. I am curious.
No spoilers.
I kind of do want to see it. I'm wearing my little homage to Wizard of Oz today.
You tried to watch it. You found it boring.
I was just second screening it.
Sure.
I was getting too bored. It seemed really long. I was talking to someone about it a couple days ago, and he was like, there are too many songs.
Yeah.
It's just like, I was like, well, it is a musical. He's like, I know, but too many songs.
I agree. It was more than were on the Broadway show. They added them to make it 2 movies.
Oh, that's why it's so long.
So that's why it's 2
So yeah, there was a collab a week ago that I thought, listen, my mom, I'm not blaming my mom, but one of the things my mom was obsessed with when I was growing up was a good metal tin.
Sure.
She loved a good metal tin. Last year, you may remember that I bought the Chex to get the Chex Peanuts tin.
That's right.
I've already bought Chex this year for this year's Chex Peanut tin. Which, by the way, if you're not doing that, go get 3 boxes of Chex. Just go online. You have to buy them on the same receipt, and you get a really cute Peanuts tin, completely free. Last year, it came with a packet of the mix to make the Chex mix.
That's so cute.
And when I bought them last week, they were on sale. Each box of cereal was like $1.49. So you're getting 3 boxes of cereal and a 10 for less than $5.
That is such a good deal.
It's a fun little thing. Why not?
And perfect for your notions.
Perfect for your notions. Perfect for your weed. If you smoke, I assume.
Family-friendly show.
Oh, well, then your tobacco.
Yeah.
And your rolling papers.
It's for your chewing tobacco your pipe tobacco.
All your tobacco products. Your emergency cigarette for doomsday. Did you ever have one of those? I had one of those. It was like a 1 cigarette encased in glass.
Oh, my gosh.
In case of emergency.
Is that like a gag gift?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Probably from a Spencer's.
That's fun.
So there was a little drop last week it was a collab, Angela, between Duncan and Wicked. And it was just, it was such a smart little collab because I don't even like Duncan. So I bought a collab of 2 things that I don't like.
I've never heard you talk about Duncan. In fact, if I'm thinking about it, I feel like you're like, ugh, Duncan's trash.
Well, pre me knowing you, I was into Duncan.
Yeah, it used to be good.
Well, and we used to drink the coffee. My mom loves their coffee.
The coffee used to be, the donuts used to be good. Now everything is shipped in 4 days old.
Yeah, when I was young, there was commercials like time to make the donuts, and they would make them in-house. Now everything's just, it's all gone downhill. They have the folded eggs. I don't like anyone that has folded eggs.
We were doing a pledge drive at the school, so I was at Duncan very early in the morning for the most painfully slow customer service of a woman filling up these the big coffee traveler things for me. Excruciating. And I'm like, I need to be there at 7:45. And she's like, okay. And then turtle mode activate, going over and taking breaks from the coffee to tear open. And then you're watching the sandwiches get made and it's ripping open the plastic and putting it in those fast food machines that are pre-programmed with cooking settings. For some reason, they gross me out. You know what I mean? It's there's a big brown button that they push, and it
one button and one conveyor belt. It's at every bagel shop.
Exactly.
It just all it's gonna do is go in, and then it drops down,
and it's on a tray.
It
and
took 30 seconds.
Slide it out, and just then it goes in it's shaken into a warming thing. I don't know. It's just
it's
it made
an
me
airplane.
Feel icky. Yeah,
it's you're on an airplane, but you're paying $9 for it instead.
Which airplane food? How do they do that? Are they heating up your Salisbury steak?
Well, now, when was the last time you flew?
A long time.
Okay, because
when I've been served a meal?
Yeah.
1985.
Yeah, I haven't been given a meal. God, remember we used to get meal, we're that generation. It used to be people, when we were getting the meals, people were like, God, remember when we used to be able to smoke on here?
Yeah, sure.
And then now you couldn't. And then it's remember when you used to be able to get a meal? You would pick
Remember
your meal.
when you used to get peanuts and now you don't get peanuts?
Now you don't. Well, Delta still they offer usually 3 snacks. I asked for all three.
Yeah.
And I asked for my Diet Coke unopened. Just give me everything. I'm going to have these in 2 weeks.
I paid $750 for my flight. My mom will always drop. She'll go, people used to get dressed up to go on a plane. I'm like, you sweatpants Bobo, used to get dressed
Bobo,
up.
We're time to put on my finery.
By getting dressed up, I mean, put on a top. That's what she calls getting. Do I need to get dressed up for this barbecue? No, sure. It's casual. Stay topless.
Just wear your bra. Okay, I feel like I've started 2 stories and haven't ended any of them. So the Dunkin' thing, there's not really much of a story there. They just had a cute collab. Metal Tin, one checks my like mom nostalgia box. Their little donut holes they've always called Munchkins.
Genius.
Why didn't they think about this last time?
How did they miss this?
How did they miss this? Why were they not like, hello, let's do a collab. We have Munchkins.
I feel like the meeting for the movie Dunkin' executives should have been there. Like the meeting to pitch the movie to the studio should have been like, okay, great. We have the team from Wicked and we have the team from Dunkin'. Okay, great. So are we making a movie or what?
It writes itself. Are we doing this or not? Are we making a movie or not, guys? You want donuts in the movie? Sure. Maybe there's not Munchkins in the first half. I don't know this. Again, don't know the story.
I don't remember if there's
I don't know.
Munchies,
Maybe it only makes sense now. But anyway, so they have this cute little metal tin. I also love a collab or a perk where you get more than what the thing is. This, you just had to buy basically you're buying the Munchkin. You're buying...
Oh, this doesn't have Munchkins free.
No, you for it was $10, you get the 10 and it's full of Munchkins. Okay, so it's like you're kind of, it's like...
Did you eat the Munchkins?
You know what? Here, I had like 3 of them and I'm like, these aren't good. I'm not going to waste the calories on them.
Yeah, they're not worth it.
I ended up tossing them. I'm sorry. I don't like to support wasting food, but... They're Munchkins, and it's not like it's like a healthy food. They just weren't worth eating, which is sad.
Yeah.
And they weren't I didn't even find out till after the fact they were supposed to be Wicked branded Munchkins.
Oh,
they were supposed to
like
be
green and pink or something?
But I got jelly filled, which I probably would have wanted more anyway.
Sure,
I'm not a big sprinkle queen.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that story. I bought this little Munchkin tin. It'll probably go in my cabinet of curiosities, maybe, or I'll put something in it. I might put my signed Wicked CD in it.
Oh, that's cute.
But it wasn't.
You need shadow boxes. You could cover every wall in your house with shadow boxes, with the confetti and the concert ticket and like the whatever from your things, with your Munchkins and your Wicked. You could have little shadow boxes all over your home.
I love a shadow box. I did have a shadow box with vintage forks in it. I don't know where that went. I have these really cool turn-of-the-century forks.
That's cool.
So that was that. I got that collab. The Target thing, that's too long. I'll talk about that 2 days ago on Off-Brand.
Yeah.
But then I didn't even like rush over to get them. I was like, I just went, when I woke up, I went and bought it. It was no big deal.
There wasn't a line around the block.
I thought now with drops, you literally never know. Ugh. You never know. So
it feels like there's a new thing every 2 days.
There is. I'm getting a little exhausted by drops.
It is crazy. Like, it used to be, it feels like it was like, oh, there was one crazy year. It's the Tickle Me Elmo and everyone's waiting outside the store. It feels like now this like, people are going to have to like get a new job that allows them to come in late. Like it has to be baked into your schedule, this lifestyle of chasing these drops.
I know. And then you look at all the comments and like, I have a job. What's it like to be able to get these? It's like people are so mad that other people are in line.
And you're like, it's pretty nice.
Not bad. I will buy you one and let you pay double for it. I mean, Starbucks already has another collab. Trader Joe's is dropping totes every 2 weeks. It's like all over the place.
It's all over the place. I'm tired just hearing about it.
Well, maybe we should hear about making
this story, I'm just going to tell you, everything about this story is so darling. And this man, I don't think I had like an emotional connection to this brand. I'm loyal to it in that it is like my go-to brand for flowers and polentas and oatmeal and things like that. But I didn't have I feel very like emotionally connected to this brand. It's hitting me in a really tender spot. I don't know if it's because Bob looks like Santa and it's kind of like close to Christmas. I watched so many interviews of him speak. They have a really robust presence on YouTube and a really great documentation of his entire life and like everything he's done. And you can hear so many interviews with him, how he just seems like such a good, kind, sweet man. And that was just like softening my heart for this entire episode. I'm just like so warmed by him.
That sounds sweet, but you know what might actually be cool for them?
What?
Since we're headed into almost 2026, it's like we're living in the future.
I know, yeah.
They should make an AI Bob so people can reach out to him and be like, Bob, I'm interested in making like, I don't know, like a cake or something. And then Bob would be like, well, I think that's a great idea. What kind of cake would you like to make? Don't you think that would be fun? Let's put Bob into the future.
You think the guy who wears a bolo tie and a newsy hat wants to be turned into a future bot?
I don't know that he wants it, but he needs it.
It's coming for all of us. This podcast in 3 years is going to be both of us being like, I really like that you got that collab, Jon. That's a really fun way to celebrate the release of a really important film.
What a fun brand you picked. I have some thoughts, but I'll go ahead and let you get the show started.
Eating scabs is a really creative way to increase your iron intake. Tell me more.
Jon, I can't say I don't have a couple of concerns about some of the things that you've been eating. All right. Maybe no AI Bob.
Maybe no AI Bob. Let's get into Bob's history and learn a little bit about Bob's Red Mill.
All right.
So our story begins with Robert Gene Bob Moore of Bob's Red Mill on February 15th, 1929, where he was born in Portland, Oregon.
The day after Valentine's Day.
Oh, do you think that's how he was conceived? Fastest gestation of all time?
His parents boinked on Thursday and he was born Friday and started making pancakes on Saturday?
I think so.
I love this story.
6 months later, his family moved to San Bernardino, California, and his father, Ken, worked driving a truck selling Wonder Bread.
Okay, we've talked about Wonder Bread.
Very
the first
cute.
bread to be sliced, I believe.
That's right, yes. Bob is a boy. He always had a great work ethic, and he worked at age 14 tearing down furniture at a local furniture business. So furniture that needed to be reupholstered, he would rip off the upholstery, and he would get stuck with staples. But he loved it because the couches usually had money inside, and he got to keep it.
How fun is that? Like, I think about that. I've had that happen. I don't know that I have found money, but like over the years, I stick things in books.
Oh.
And then at some point you get rid of your books and don't remember.
What kind of things do you stick in there? Like cash?
Things I want to flatten out, like maybe a set list from a show or just like, bits and bobs of things.
You having multiple things that over the years you've needed to flatten out. It's never once occurred to me, like, I'd like to flatten that out. Can you grab the thickest book we have? Thicker! This is really wrinkly.
That's why I buy coffee table books. They're all full of things to flatten things out.
Okay, wow. So if there's a garage sale, look inside the Toshins.
Flip through my Toshins. You're going to find an old... I know right now in a Toshin on my coffee table, I have a Cure set list.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, let's not lose that. He was always very mechanical and loved machines and loved old cars. And so he purchased a 1933 Chevy Coupe for $300 in 1945. So he's a very entrepreneurial young man. He loves to tinker. His mind is always moving with like what he can do to make his life as exceptional as possible. He was too young to enlist when World War II started. So he took a job in a warehouse for the May Company department store. Don't we love an old department store?
May Company, if I'm not mistaken, I love tying all of our shows together. I believe May Company is the store that allowed, I'm going to blank on his name, but they printed the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer book and gave it out as a free promotion.
That sounds right. It was Robinson's May when I was growing up, so I think it must have merged.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
That's right, and he was in Los Angeles, so we actually could go to the location of the old May Company where Bob Moore worked.
Which is now a weed store.
Probably, because they all are. So he was given an early taste of management. He was 16 years old working at May Company when he was promoted to run his own department at the store. So he is a go-getter.
Love it.
He said he didn't just walk out of that office. He flew out when he found out he was getting that promotion.
Hey.
He was in seventh heaven.
Ladies, let's try on some shoes.
He ended up doing a 3-year stint in the Army where he helped build bridges and roads in the Marshall Islands. And then he returned to Southern California and met Charlotte.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
This is off topic, and I apologize because I know we're supposed to stay on brand.
Sure, that is our job.
How do you build a bridge?
Oh, I've watched a YouTube video about this quite recently.
Like how do you have to like take like a piece of metal and stick it on one side and then slowly work your way across?
That's like a Survivor challenge.
Because there's some bridges that are like the Bay Bridge is like 4 miles long.
You know how they do it?
Oh, from the water?
They put a big cylinder in the water and pump it. So there's like a giant cylinder in the ocean that goes down all the way to the bottom and sticks out above, and then they pump out all the water, and then they put the feet in the hole. Wow. But there might be like a dolphin at the bottom or something that's like, my friends! Daddy!
That makes sense. Okay, cool.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. But it's worth watching a video because it is really cool. Especially these bridges that were over like 120 years old. It's like, how the hell did anybody build anything?
I don't know. I don't get it.
That's so crazy.
Aliens.
And yet our bridge in our neighborhood...
A rickety old bridge. Somehow weeds grow out of the concrete. That makes no sense.
And they're like, we can fix it, but it'll take 25 years and $400 billion. It's like, wasn't it built like in 1925, like by like 3 guys in a weekend?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Let's get Linda Perry on this. She can sing a charity song to raise money. 25 years and my bridge is still... I'm trying to get up this
drive up this
pothole hill.
I love that.
Damn, I love it. Linda Perry.
Viral video.
Merch.
So he's building bridges. He's in the Marshall Islands. He comes back to Southern California and he meets Charlee Coote, cute name, on a blind date in 1952. So they married 1 year later in 1953 in Bob Moore's grandmother's house. She became the one who kind of initiated the focus on healthier eating. She's baking whole wheat bread. She's managing the garden. They have chickens. She's introducing Bob to the idea that food quality mattered. And so then they start a family and they have 3 boys. So he's trying to figure out what his career path is going to be. He's kind of bopped around. He's been in department stores. He's been all over. He's driving down Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles one day, and he saw a coming soon sign for a new mobile gas station. He senses that this might be a lucrative business, and so he reaches out and sees if he can buy it. And they sell their house. They scrape together $6,000, and he is so excited to finally have his own business. Now it's 1955. Within a couple years, they're tired of the smog of Los Angeles, the traffic, the hustle bustle. It's not really their speed. So they sold that station. They moved to the ski resort town of Mammoth Lakes in the southern Sierra Nevada, and they bought another gas station. So that was 1955. By 1958, they have a 14-foot snowfall that devastates the business, and they fail within a year. Wow. So you'll notice within his story, he does face a lot of roadblocks, and it's one of those things where it's like, how many times would I have given up? It's like...
Instantly.
Instantly.
You wouldn't have even bought the car.
I would never have even made it to the car shop.
So he's like 30 years old at this time.
Yeah.
He's already
he's lived a lot of life.
Gone to war. He's built bridges. He's worked at a department store. He's owned gas stations.
Yeah. And at this point, they're nearly destitute. He has these 3 boys, and they move to Sacramento, where he takes a job in the hardware department of a Sears department store. So he knows department stores. He ends up back there. 1961. At this point, they're renting a 5-acre goat farm. His wife has the garden. She's baking. She's getting more into like the homesteading kind of lifestyle. And this is interesting if we're thinking about these brands and when they kind of come to be, the culture at the time. 1961. So 1950s, we associate that with like the processed convenience food booms. That's like the TV dinners. It's like the easy bakes. It's
Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts, exactly. In the 1960s, there was this kind of like counterculture shift towards more natural food as kind of like a rejection of the industrial food system. So when you think of the 50s, you think of like the mom with the TV dinner, the housewife. And then in the 60s, it's kind of like this hippy dippy. There's still some like vegan-y restaurants around LA and Southern California, where I'm from, that are like, have been a vegan restaurant since the 1960s. And it's a really different thing. It's like sprouts and avocado. And it was kind of a rejection of the mainstream in the same way counterculture always is. So you'll start to hear about veganism and vegetarianism and emphasizing that a return to unprocessed foods and more like healthful way of living, which is kind of radical coming out of the 1950s.
And that lasted a while, because even in the 80s, I remember like health food was only available at like health food stores. Like it was a destination.
Kind of fringe, yeah.
Kind of fringe and like weird product, at least to like a kid, weird products.
Mung beans.
Definitely like tofu before tofu had really been figured out.
Exactly.
But it felt like an organ, like it was like an organ had been taken out of someone's body and was just like laying in this juice. This is our protein.
It almost feels like it's like cult food, like 70s cults. It'd be like, oh, they were hippies and they were doing this like vegan diet and they were eating a lot of like tofu.
Yeah.
So it was still very much like very fringe.
Yeah.
So now it's 1966. He's working at JCPenney Auto Center. He moves to Redding, California. And this is when everything kind of starts to coalesce and set him on his path that he'd be on forever. So his father died of a heart attack at age 49. And this event really deeply impacted Bob Moore. And there's a video of him where he's interviewed and he's looking at a portrait of his father in his office. And he like tears form in his eyes just thinking about how influential his father was in his life and how he was so healthy. And then one day he just was gone. He just died of a heart attack and was gone. And it impacted him for his entire life. So
49 is crazy.
It's crazy.
I mean, even back then I would assume 49. I mean,
it still feels young.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the impact of a diet as far as like your longevity and your health, that was kind of struck him and made him even more motivated to make healthy eating a part of his lifestyle. So in 1968, he's working at this JCPenney Auto Center in Redding. He happens to go into the public library like on a lunch break or something. Somebody had left a book that they had like checked out from the shelf or were flipping through on the shelf, and then they didn't put it back. They just left it sitting on a table. And he picked it up and starts flipping through it. And it's a book called John Goff's Mill. And this book is a story of a man who, with no prior experience, resurrected his family's ancestral mill and ground wheat into flour. So in the book, after this guy got his mill going, he says that people beat a path to his door over his whole wheat flour and cornmeal. So Bob's reading this book and he is falling in love with the idea of milling whole grains. He says, my goodness, if I could find some millstones and mill someplace, I bet I could do the same thing. So this is like the combination of his entrepreneurial spirit, his work ethic, his love of machinery, his love of like industry, and spreading the gospel of healthy eating all in one.
Love it.
So he says, yes, I envisioned the mill as a way to do what I wanted to do, what I believed in, which was whole grains. It was unique, it was healthy, and it fit my aspirations for helping people. So Bob immersed himself in the ancient art of stone milling. So he's researching historic mills and contacting dozens of people around and far and wide, trying to find millstones and other flour making equipment. So there's still mills in existence, but at the time they were all in museums because nobody's using millstones. Flour was milled on iron rollers, and most commercial flour is today. The difference is that millstones use stones like limestone to grind wheat into flour at a slower speed, and the temperature is cooler, which helps preserve more of the wheat's nutrients. So it preserves more of the B vitamins, minerals, healthy oils from the bran and the germ. The roller mills, which is what is commercially used in flour production, was then, still is now, high-speed steel rollers heat up, they destroy the nutrients, they strip away the bran and the germ to create a more refined white flour with a longer shelf life, but lower nutritional value. So keeping the germ, it also creates a richer flavor, it has more depth, and the resulting flour is more healthy. So Bob rejected the fast metal roller flour method, and he says, we built these machines because the others that existed, they screamed, they got hot, and they went 94 miles per hour. I don't live my life that way, and I don't want my food that way.
Okay, Bob.
So he doesn't like to be hot and fast. He wants to be slow and cool, which I support. So his persistence and people skills paid off, and he's able to source traditional quartz millstones and other essential equipment from a defunct mill in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And after a lot of hard work, in 1974, he was able to open Moore's Flour Mill in a metal Quonset hut. I'd never heard the term Quonset hut. Have you ever heard that? I looked at pictures of them. It's like basically like a portable pop-up kind of structure that's like a metal dome, half dome, in Redding, California, with his wife and two of their sons, Ken and Bob Jr.
So he's like 45-ish at this point, 46. He's creeping up on the age his dad was when he died.
Sure, and you know that's in his mind.
You know
that's in his mind. So this is a really good time for wheat to enter the scene.
Yeah.
So at first, it's a modest operation. It's essentially a family business. He's printing bags on an 1890s press. All their equipment is like antique equipment because they're doing it such an old-fashioned way, which of course I love. His wife is doing the bookkeeping. His sons are pitching in. They're bagging flour, and their stone-ground, slower-made, more flavorful flour is getting attention from the community. People are finding out that this flour tastes so much better than what they can get at the grocery store. So the business is doing well, but Bob and his wife, they feel like they're in the middle of their life. He's coming up on 50. He feels like he wants to do something more with his life. And
more? He's done everything. He's done more, than anybody.
He's the busiest bee in town. So he gives the business, he essentially retires, and he gives the business to his sons. And him and his wife dedicate their life to learning to read the Bible in its original languages. So they're studying Hebrew and Greek and moving to Portland to go to seminary school.
What about the flour?
What about the flour?
Does he just, don't tell me he sells it to Quaker?
Fat chance.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, fat chance. So he leaves his son in charge of the little mill, and it's just like this one tiny mill just milling flour. And he feels like...
Are they selling only locally?
Yes, very, very locally.
Okay.
Very locally. They're not in grocery stores really or anything. So he is dedicating his life to this kind of spiritual calling, and he just feels like, I don't know, maybe it's a midlife crisis. He feels like he's done the flour thing, and he wants to have a deeper connection to his religion and the spirituality. So him and his wife, they're in seminary school.
That could also, not to interrupt, that could also be because he was getting around the age when his dad died.
For sure. He might be wanting to get more in tune with his spiritual side.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So they're doing a lot of their walking, like seminary school. I mean, what do you do at seminary school?
You walk and you think.
You walk and you think. And that's what him and his wife did. They're walking.
And you kink? No.
Walk, think, pray, and kink?
Yeah. Those
is that
are the
what's
four.
On the crest?
That's what this is, I think.
Walk, think, pray, kink. I always wondered what that was.
I'm pretty sure that's what that is. We're going to hell.
Merch.
We just lost half of our audience. Merch.
So they're walking, they're praying, they're thinking. It turns out learning Greek, learning Hebrew is a little snoozy.
God, that seems hard. We're learning another language. That's challenging.
I mean, in Hebrew, like an ancient language. So they're walking, he says, like 4, 5, 10 miles a day, just like shuffling around a seminary. They have little flashcards, and him and his wife are walking, and they're like quizzing. I can't even imagine like a Greek word to say, like a e pluribus unum.
I think that's
so
the one
he
we
has
all know.
e pluribus unum, and then his wife is trying to go like, don't remember what that one means. He's like, we went over this. So they're like trying to like have a little study group.
This is why, and for when we do have the AI Bob, we can pick the language we want him to speak in.
Sure, Bob, you can be fluent in Hebrew with a click of a button.
Just a click of a button.
So they're on their walk in Portland, and much to his surprise, what does he see but an old mill?
Oh, I thought you were going to say ghost. An old ghost.
The ghost of his father?
Oh, there's
wow.
your... Okay.
Return to the wheat. Honestly, it's kind of like that. There's so many things, and he's a man of faith, and he's very religious. And it does kind of feel like all these things, like the book being on the table in the library, guiding him to the mill, and then the seeing in the mill. It's like there's so many symbols that are entering his life that he puts deep meaning into, and so he follows them.
Okay. So I interrupt. What he saw an old what?
A mill.
He saw another old mill?
He saw another old mill.
And he's like, I miss my mill.
He maybe missed his mill.
He said Hochspa. I don't know any.
That sounded German.
Maybe German.
Sure. The mill, of course, has a for sale sign on it.
No.
And this is a big mill. It's a beautiful mill. It's for sale. He says, I can't believe it. I'm being haunted by mills.
Wow.
This was like us when we like wanted to like do a podcast, but we weren't sure if we should. It's like we kept like seeing like
microphones
and headphones. And we would be like,
and
no.
people talking and brands. And we're like, you know what? Let's do it.
Exactly. It's a lot like that. So he looks in the window of the mill and he sees the bucket elevators and the grain cleaners and all the equipment. He said he can't believe what he's looking at. So he calls the number on the sign. The owner says, I'm going to tear down that mill to put up a shopping center.
Oh, God, that sounds great.
So that just, the shopping center, you have a crumble cookie.
One of the first gaps. Do it. Tear it down.
A Le Creuset outlet. Yeah, he doesn't want to see that happen. He's
Albon Pong.
He
could run the Albon Pong.
Because of the wheat?
The bread.
Sure, yeah. He sees this as a sign as he does everything, and he has a lot of conversation and prayer with his wife, and they decide, let's just take a leap of faith, and let's launch a bigger, better mill, Bob's Red Mill Natural Food. So instead of just wheat, we're going to expand our product line, expand the scale of what we can produce in this big, gorgeous mill. So
what's his son doing? His son's still running the old mill?
Well, there's the two kids are on the old mill. I never heard about what happened with that third kid, probably a rebel.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to be like, what's the opposite of, like, if you want to rebel against your, like, flour making dad, you become what? Microchips. I'm going to go make microchips.
What's the 70? Yeah, he's going to work on a giant room computer.
He's working at Dell.
He's going to make the AI of his dad.
There you go.
Okay.
Full circle moment. So they can expand the scope of what they can do and expand their production because this mill it's a big, beautiful mill. So he puts up a plan of action. And in 1978, him and his wife opened the doors to a flurry of public and media interest. Word is spreading about this flour and about these grains, and shoppers from around the country are traveling in to see his mill.
Wow.
In the 80s, he starts to get some regional grocery distribution in the Pacific Northwest chain Fred Meyer. I didn't know about that, but maybe if you're in that area, you know that.
I'm familiar with Fred Meyer.
You are?
Yeah.
So they started having dozens of the Bob's Red Mill products, and this early retail partnership moved them from selling direct to the customer into this grocery distribution for the first time. The packaging started to include Bob's friendly face, looks more like this does today, his little flat cap, his little "To Your Good Health" Bob Moore. So this has been on the package since 1982.
This is really giving Burt's Bees. It's giving
it's very
Bronner's,
Burt's Bees,
even though he doesn't put himself on the package. It's giving Ben and Jerry's. We need to get all these old guys together.
There's your dinner party.
Play pickleball?
In 2026.
Yeah.
My New Year's resolution is to play pickleball with Ben and Jerry. I'm going to take them on.
Branding icons. We will take on Ben and Jerry's in 2026. Winner
Mark my words.
Gets a free pint.
Not a custom pint.
No.
Just a free pint of your choice.
Oh, I would like an on-brand custom pint.
That would be really fun. What would be in that? We've talked about that before. Scabs. So in the 1980s, the whole grain movement is gaining traction, and they are riding that wave. But in February 1988, disaster struck.
Don't tell me there was a fire at the mill.
I'm here to tell you.
Don't you,
Jon,
you stop this
We've been doing this long enough.
If there was a fire at that mill, I have two things I'm thinking. One, that's devastating, and two, it might have smelled good.
On June 15th.
No.
A fire.
No.
Suspected arson burns the mill down. There is a news story about this incident that has footage. It's like the news crew was there like the day before and the day after, because it is crazy. Are you suspecting them for arson?
Well, if they're there the day before.
I don't know if it was exactly the day before, but they're showing, Bob is walking around. He's showing the millstones. He's showing the grain. He's showing the printing, the old printer that they use. And then that's the first half of the news story. The second half of the news story is back on the scene. The printer, all the stuff that's iron is still there, and everything else is ash. And they lost $500,000. I'm going to play a clip of the end of this news story.
Insurance didn't cover Bob Moore's losses. He says the cost of rebuilding is astronomical. And while Moore at first said the mill would make a comeback, that is now in doubt.
Well, we thought we'd pretty well made a decision today, and I don't know, then you came out and I don't know. We really have crisscrossed between Chuck and the whole thing, and I don't know. I really don't know, Paul.
And so this may be the end for Moore's flour mill.
It may be the end for Bob's flour mill.
Why do they suspect that it was arson?
I don't know how they do that.
And who do they think did it?
They never caught the guy.
They don't think it was Bob.
No, it wasn't Bob. Who would it have been?
I thought arson was... I guess arson isn't always the person that owns it. There's pyromaniacs. Is that what it is?
Arson just means it was started by a person.
Right, I know, but like who's going to randomly start a fire at a mill?
That is so crazy. I mean, I guess would it be arson if it was like some kids were lighting off fireworks in the field and then like a spark flew? Because sparks can travel.
Well, yeah, of course sparks can travel. That's what destroyed our city earlier this year.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, you said there was a news crew there the day before. I'm thinking a flick cigarette.
You think Paul, the guy doing that interview, flicked a cigar
or
in
his
a pile of
production
grain?
assistant or somebody. I mean,
It's
there's
possible.
a lot of people there that weren't normally there, and then the mill burns down.
That's a really good point.
I would reach out to those people first. And
I will fork off into a true crime podcast investigating the arson
of Bob's
mill. Here's the thing. He ended that interview by saying, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to go on. This might be the end. After Bob watched that news segment and the response from the community from that news story and the tragedy, Bob knew he couldn't let the mill die. It was such an important part of his community, and the customers felt such a personal connection to the brand. He had to rebuild. Thankfully, the millstones survived as grain from an upper floor fell on top of them, protecting them from the heat. And this became a part of the brand's origin legend. But Bob's at a loss. They got a lot of work to do. They need to open a larger new facility in Milwaukee. It's called Milwaukee, but it's Milwaukee, Oregon, in 1989, which is less than a year later. They already got going on their new operation. This pivot, though, enabled national distribution. So every time they had a roadblock or every time they pivoted, they ended up growing and being even bigger. So with this new move, though it came from tragedy, it enabled them to expand to being in grocery stores nationally. By 1990, Bob and his general manager drove 22 hours straight to attend their first Expo West trade show. Time machine. They didn't even have a price sheet, and that trip helped open national markets and their products could be distributed across the U.S. So 1990 is really when they you didn't have to live in the Pacific Northwest to see a Bob's Red Mill. You could be in Florida and you could get some extra thick rolled oats.
He's 71 at this point. 29, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. 71 years old.
There you go, yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, what a journey. It's
What a
never
journey.
too late.
He didn't get into it until he was almost 50.
Yeah.
The 1990s also marked his upgrades into gluten-free production. So the 1990s to be creating gluten-free products, I mean, who even heard about that? He even had his own dedicated facilities, in-house testing labs, and exported gluten-free products internationally starting in 2000 to Canada and South Korea. So he was the first, one of the first to be mindful of these kind of dietary restrictions when they were still fringe. Here in LA, you see GF all over menus.
Yeah.
But it wasn't always that way.
No, of course not. I would think that would be one of the earlier people to do it. And now that I'm questioning myself. 29 is when he was born. 30,
Yeah.
40, 50, 60, 70, 80. He was 61.
Okay, he was
Because
61.
I apparently can't do math.
In my mind, I was like, I guess you're right. Yeah,
I know.
that is older
I said
than
the
I
people
thought.
born in the 70s were 40, and now I have a 10-year thing. So everyone,
but I
when
feel-
I just did that, everyone's like, "She did it again," and now I just correct and like, okay.
Okay, phew.
Phew.
They
This
were
guy's not a moron.
right. They were licking the tip of their quill to write you a letter.
They're on Apple.
They're on.
They have their abacus checking their math. No,
Yes.
John.
Okay, phew. He got
Love
it
the
right.
pod, love the conversation, but get a calculator.
Get a damn calculator. In 2008, they relocate to an even larger facility.
2008. We're already at 2008.
Well, yeah, they're pumping. They're humming.
That's like yesterday.
Bad news.
God,
It's not
that's almost
yesterday.
20 years ago. 2008.
It's almost 20 years ago.
We had already known each other.
I know.
Wow.
That was
That's when we had our show in New York.
Yes, New York City, when you ate a family barbecue meal.
I like that
by
I remember
yourself.
the show that we did, and all you remember is that I got a family-sized barbecue dinner alone.
And I took a crap in a Gap.
Okay.
The company relocates to an even larger facility. They increase their dedicated gluten-free manufacturing. They expand to more than 100 gluten-free products. And this is when things get really exciting. Are you aware of the Golden Spurtle?
Yeah, of course. Who isn't? I had my first one, I think, freshman year.
The Golden Spurtle is the Scottish competition for the best bowl of porridge.
Oh, right. I was thinking of something completely different.
Oh, well, I'm dying to know what that was. We'll talk about that
Off-brand.
off-brand. So the company had taken part in this prestigious competition since 2009. They brought home 2 world titles. But Bob, the founder of the company, had never participated in it himself. Like representatives from his company would compete in this Golden Spurtle competition.
And can you, for me and the audience, what is the difference between porridge and what is porridge?
You know, for the Golden Spurtle, it is awarded to the maker of the best traditional porridge. What they're saying is uses only oats, water, and salt, which to me is oatmeal.
Oh, okay.
So I think maybe they just call it porridge.
Got it.
There is a documentary about this that I am dying to watch, and the trailer is so darling. In that like British Bake Off kind of way where it's just like everybody is so sweet about their oatmeal.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see it in the US. So I need to like hack in or like VPN
Can't see
or
it. They don't want American eyes on the
I
porridge
guess
documentary.
not. I guess not. They don't want us to sully their sweet porridge. And a spurtle is this like kind of wand. It's a wand, like a Harry Potter wand that you use to like mix
I
porridge.
know exactly what a spurtle is.
You're
It
well
is
aware.
Very much like a wand.
It's so he competed in the contest, and he himself won the 23rd annual Golden Spurtle World Making Championship, perfecting his porridge making technique. And this was when he was 87 when he won it himself.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's right.
Yeah, crunch those numbers.
I'm going to say 87. That could mean he was also 77 or 97.
That is a really good point. That's a really good point. Over the years, many food conglomerates have been chomping at the bit to buy Bob's Red Mill. What do you think Bob says to them every damn time?
How much?
Try? Hell no. Actually, he was very Christian. He probably said, heck no.
Heck no. Now
Heck no.
skedaddle.
And on February 2010, this is how committed he is to rejecting corporate greed. On his 81st birthday, he transferred 1/3 of the company to his employees using an employee stock ownership plan. And as of April 30th, 2020, on the 10th anniversary of that deal, Bob's Red Mill became 100% employee owned by the over 700 employees, one of only about 6,000 businesses in the country to achieve this feat.
That's getting Bronner's. Wasn't Bronner's one of those ones that I
Is
did? Who was the one
employee-owned.
that had like the quirky office? Was that Bronner's?
I think that's with the boys, the Bronner
I
boys.
think the boys.
Yeah.
I feel like they had like company-owned stuff. And
Yeah.
Maybe, no, Burt's Bees, I don't know.
Well, Burt's Bees sold out, which we
Yeah,
remember.
they
They sold out to
sold.
Clorox, which
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
Is there a worse thing?
is
to
there a
sell out
worse
to?
thing to sell out to? And he was a very quirky guy. Bob is who I wanted Bert to be.
Yeah.
Like, truly like passionate with his heart and so kind and so sweet. Bert was a bit of a tough nut to crack. He was a bit crotchety. There was not a crotchety bone in Bob's body. He's just like the sweetest, kindest Santa Claus of a man.
Yeah.
And he says about his transferring the ownership to his employees, he says, the Bible says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. sharing in the company to make things more fair and more benevolent. So he's just like the best guy. He says, my life's purpose has been building and maintaining a company that provides healthy whole grain foods to folks around the world and offers financial security to its employees. So he's a big deal. He's a big deal. And we can look at him as a very honorable. It's very rare for a head of a company this big, this successful, to still be focusing on like the lowest level employees at his company.
How big are they?
Well, annual revenues of over $100 million. I mentioned that in the opening. And their products are sold in more than 70 countries. They employ over 700 people. They have several hundred products on the shelves. At the time of his death, on February 10th, 2024.
He just died?
He died
less than 1 year ago?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, less. No.
More. A year and a half.
What is wrong with me?
I don't know.
I went to a math conference in junior high school, and now I don't know
Even that, I feel like you did?
I did.
You did? Did you carry the books?
I was smart.
Uh-huh. I believe it.
Smart.
I believe it. The brand is still credited with making alternative grains and flours accessible to home bakers and gluten-free vegan communities across America, changing the way how America bakes and eats. His portrait remains on every package, as I showed. He will be remembered by his signature red vest, how he played the piano before meetings in his office, his love of beagles and old cars, and his dedication to spreading good food and joy to everyone he met. And that's Bob.
Bob. What a
I
good guy.
love Bob. I'll post it on the supplementals. There's so many, just like him and his wife, like in a Model T with a beagle. It's just
This is your dream life.
It's my dream life. He is just like the sweetest guy with the sweetest story. Such a good man.
If you had a time machine,
Yes.
you said him and his wife met on a blind date.
Sure.
If you had a time
Bop
machine.
her on the head and assume her identity?
Yeah.
Oh.
Drag her into back then, they would drag you into a closet.
Sure.
And they would just put a handkerchief around your mouth, which you could easily go, but they never.
But for some reason, they could never get it
Still
out.
could never make any noise. Would you closet the woman, and marry Bob?
I would bop her on the head, drag her into a closet, tie a hanky around her mouth, assume her clothes, and I would be Charlie. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? If you did all of that.
Yeah.
If you got a time machine and went back to whatever that was.
58, I think.
50, and did that, he would have lived until just 2 years ago.
My husband?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Am I still my same age or am I old also?
Well, you don't stay your age. Once you go back there, you age that you're what, 43?
Excuse me.
And then, so you would now be 98.
Okay, maybe it's worth it then.
Yeah.
That's worth it. Because I certainly wouldn't have time to pod.
No.
If I was a 98
I'm podding with a 98-year-old bread heiress?
Well, his wife did pass away in 2018, so I don't even know if I'd be here.
She missed COVID and all that.
She did.
I always think it. Now I put everything in aspects of who was aware of COVID and who wasn't.
And didn't even know.
Didn't even know.
Yeah.
She didn't even know.
And he lived to be 95. So I think there's videos of him coming up on his 95th birthday. His company sat him down for a lot of these little interview segments where it's like, what's your secret to a good health or your whatever? And he says you early to bed, early to rise. He has all these cute little things he says, and
it
he's
would
so
have been
darling.
cuter if he said something early to bed with a lot of bread, that's cute.
Early to bed with a mouthful of bread. I always sleep with a mouthful of bread. Every night I fall asleep with my mouth full of a big ball of wet bread. And then when I wake it up, it's gone. And that's my secret. And I'm 95 today, so you can't tell me it doesn't work. That might be, I don't know. He
That
didn't
would have
mention
been
that.
a lot cuter.
He didn't mention that. But I think there's something to say. His father passed away very young and he made it to 95. And he is spry. He was hoofing it around the factory, like a big factory floor. He's hoofing it, going upstairs, downstairs. He stayed very active until the very end. And he passed away surrounded by his loved ones in his home.
I could see coworkers getting him a Segway in the early 2000s, but he tried it a couple times, but it collected dust.
Well, and because he's an old-fashioned guy, so he's going to say, he's going to get a kick out of it, but he'll go okay, I think I'm okay walking.
I'm
I'm
not quite
good.
there yet.
You're not quite
Frank.
there yet.
You know what's really crazy, and I don't know if you saw any of this in your research or not. His wife never would have seen Avatar 2.
Oh.
She would have been aware that we were making it, but never would have seen
In 2018. She might have read, Time magazine and said, you remember Titanic?
Mhm.
Yeah, I loved it.
Loved it. One of my favorites.
Well, that guy, what's his name, is making another movie.
Yeah. Or they might say the sequel to Avatar is coming out 10 years later or whatever. But Bob could have seen Avatar
Sure,
too.
yeah.
He may have gone.
Do you think he did? Talk about a company that is not going to do a collab. Can you imagine like Navi oats and their like blue oatmeal? Like this, I think that's what I love about this is it just feels like it's just what it is. Like we're not trying to like hook you with any like weird little things.
Yeah. This goes with your whole, what is it? Your fisherman's wife.
Ooh, I mean, Millman's wife is similar.
Yeah.
Millman's
I
wife.
feel like you just want to be a Handmaid's Tale. But
I mean, it's not too different from my lifestyle right now. Can I still pod?
yeah, sure.
Can I pod from the mill?
Just talking about the Bible and, of course, walk, think, pray, kink.
Walk, think, pray, kink.
Okay, so, John, you've heard everything there is to know
Everything you've
about
heard.
Bob's Mill. Is Bob's grainy, bainy on brand or off brand for you? You know what? I'm going to say... I can't give it a hard on brand for me because I don't buy it or use it, but I'll have it be on brand for me because I've probably eaten it because I eat a lot of things that you make. And I admire in this day and age a brand sticking to its virtues and trying to walk in the path of the creator. That sounds religious and weird, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Sure. It's like the best version of that. Like what's like the most honorable way to live where you're helping other people.
Yeah, and
I
not
being greedy.
I like a brand that's based on just like a simple ingredient from the earth.
Sure, yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely an on brand for me. I know it's a hard on brand for you.
Oh, it is a rock hard brand on brand for me. And I'm
raging.
sad that Bob isn't here to listen to this episode and just hear my praise of him. But I'll write to them and tell them about it. Maybe they'll send me like a sack of oats or something.
That'd be fun, or an apron.
Yeah,
that would be
apron.
nice.
That'd
I
be
ruined
great.
my burpee bag that I got from Burpee, and now
How?
I had put some cleaning products in it, and the Windex bottle ended up upside down and emptied itself out in it. So now
So it's all blue.
It's all blue on the bottom.
You got them with the tomatoes on it,
The
right?
cutest. I love it. And then I was like, me in a panic. I'm like, can I still get it on the website? And I was like, I'm not spending $30 on this. And I'm like, can I write them? It's like, I just want to replace it. But
Sure.
then
It won't wash out?
I haven't tried, but that's happened to me before with Tide, and it did not wash out.
Gosh, Windex might. It's worth a shot. Give it a soak.
I'll give it a soak.
Give it a soak.
What made me think of that? Oh, you getting free stuff.
Yeah,
well, I
getting
hope
free
you do.
stuff.
I hope
I
we
hope I
get
do.
some free grains. That'd be fun. Well, awesome. That was very fun. Another brand I knew very little about.
Yeah, I'm curious with our listeners. I know we have a lot of bakers and people who like to cook and some foodies in the listenership. Certainly from our Discord, we know that people
There's
in
a
our
lot
audience
of
are
people
like that.
that like to cook.
Yeah. So if you have a preference of flour, maybe there's people who are like, oh, I'm a King Arthur flour. Oh, I'm a Bob's Red Mill. And it's one of those things, maybe now that you know about it, when you walk your grocery aisles, look for the guy with the bolo tie and the newsy hat. He's so sweet.
And hopefully in a couple years, you'll be able to find the AI Bob. And they can walk you. You can just pick up a phone and say, Bob, I don't know what to make for my family. Rebecca, that's a great question. We have a bunch of gluten-free products to help you satisfy your family.
They have some really good recipe videos too. So I'm going to, now that I'm a gluten-free baker, I have to do my homework.
And now that I'm a gluten-free eater, I was so excited when you guys loosen the meat grip on your vegetarianism, and now we're going gluten-free.
Oh yeah, well we still have bread in the home.
Okay,
we still have bread in the home.
Awesome. Well, that was very fun. I love learning new things. Thank you so much. Why don't we give some shout outs to our Freaks of the Week? And if you're wondering how you become a Freak of the Week, it is so easy. All you have to do is go to our Instagram every Wednesday and check out our story where I post a little puzzle. If you solve that puzzle and send me the answer, I'm going to send you a little freak badge to let you know you got it right. And I'm going to add your name to our Wheel of Freaks. And then I'm going to spin that wheel 5 times every week to pick our Freaks of the Week. Of course, I get confused. And this week, once again, I spun it 6 times. So there are 6. I don't know why I do it.
Why?
It's because I pre-do 4 of them. Yeah. And then I get so excited that I will sometimes forget. So I accidentally pre-did 5 of them. But I like to do one of them live here so we can post a video.
Sure.
So there's 6. So these are 6 lucky Freaks of the Week this week. We have Brandon Z, Devon Millions, who told me that is their legal name, Devon Millions. I didn't believe it at first, but it is. We have Norma G. We have Melissa Haley, and Meredith Walker, and Nina, who just goes by N. So congratulations, guys. Thanks so much for playing the puzzle. I really appreciate it. And be sure to check out, if you're on Instagram, check out just our normal feed. We post supplemental material, so you're going to be able to see what Bob looked like. You can decide if he's hot or not. He's old, so I know he's not hot, but you might think he's hot. If you think Santa's hot, you're probably going to think he's hot. And we just put a lot of fun stuff on there, so be sure to check that out.
While we're giving shout outs, I'd like to shout out a lovely listener who left us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This is a confusing one. For the record, 5 stars from Buffalo Brow. Blasphemy! Talking about Trader Joe's for the first 22 minutes of the Aldi episode and throughout. Bag talk wasn't interesting, but it was cute. This is my first episode. I heard you on a different show. I sure hope you talk about Aldi once being the same company as Trader Joe's. Interesting. Left a comment mid-listen.
Before the show was over.
Sure.
They weren't the same company.
Sure.
Aldi and Trader Joe's were each run by one of the brothers.
And I'm not sure I agree with you that the bag talk wasn't interesting, but
I mean,
I stand corrected.
I can't say I don't like a Trader Joe's bag. I can't say that I hate that.
You know what? Thank you for each one of those sweet 5 stars.
Yeah. I like that it's their first listen.
Sure.
They're confident enough that it's a 5-star show.
Sure. 22 minutes in. I think that's a really good time to leave a review of anything. I do that for movies. I do that for whatever. We're just happy to be reached out to. Any way you want to communicate, we're happy to have it. If you haven't left us a confusing 5-star review at Apple Podcasts, please do. We love to hear from you guys. It boosts the show. It boosts morale, boosts our mood, boosts us up. You can check out John's Insta Egg on Instagram at OnBrandThePod, TikTok at OnBrandThePodcast, YouTube, watch the show instead of listening it. You can see me hold up a bag of extra thick rolled oats. And with that, we'll be back next week with an all-new episode.
And remember, for the next couple of months, we're doing a hard push on trying to get reviews and YouTube subscribers. I'm aiming for 500 by New Year's Eve. We're over the 400 threshold, so if you haven't, that's all we're asking for Christmas. One gift where we'll give you an address that you can send it to, and a review on Apple Podcasts, and a subscription to YouTube. All 3 of those only. No, but we would love those. It helps us out a lot, and we do really appreciate them. And like we always say, we may go off topic, guys. And I'm really sorry when we do. I know you want us to stick hardcore to the brand.
I've been getting a lot of letters about this.
A lot of hate mail.
Yeah.
Just stick to the brand. Even like that review.
Mm-hmm.
Just stick to Aldi.
Brand. My inbox is bustin'.
But as much as we do, we will always be on brand.
Bye.
Goodbye.
On brand.